And welcome to the Marcus and Mike Show, guys. On today's show, we're going to talk a little Andrew Luck and then break down the San Francisco 49ers, of course. But before we get to anything, we have to welcome Marcus to the show. Marcus, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Pretty shocking news. It was funny because I'm watching the Texans play the Cowboys, and starting running back Lamar Miller tears his ACL because Malik Collins is a beast and beat his man and destroyed Lamar Miller. And so I was a little bit sad about that. Then about 20 minutes later, I'm still sad about Lamar Miller. And then 20 minutes later, all of a sudden, Andrew Luck news comes across. I'm like, oh my God, now, Jesus. So it was a little surprising.
Yeah, so let's just start right there with the whole Andrew Luck situation. When the news first came out, my first reaction was he has torn his Achilles because the Kevin Durant thing is strongly in our mind right now, and the calf injury, and then all of a sudden he retired.
Right.
So he was like, I feel like he was hiding the Achilles injury simply just to say I'm done, I'm retired.
Right.
But what is your first reaction when you first heard that news?
Surprised, really surprised. You talk about a guy that's 29 years old, and me being a Texan fan, thinking, "Oh my God!" But I'm not thinking it's going to be some kind of cakewalk. But it just got much easier now to win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, the Texans have won the division, 3 out of the last 4 years and 5 out of the last 8 anyway. So, but still, I mean, that is shocking to me. But then once I learned about the injury history, it reminded me. Arm again. I mean, it sucked. So I could imagine the rehab for him sucked to get back out there on the field for almost his entire career.
Right.
Because he's been somewhat injury prone. I think he's played a total of 86 out of 112, 12 games or something. So he was tired of it. He got to that point where he was done with it. And so after I saw that side of it, I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not going to knock the guy. He wants to retire. He wants to retire. I mean, I don't really care. I was a little bit upset at Romo for retiring, but I wouldn't boo Romo. Never would boo Tony Romo. I was just like, damn. You know what I mean? When I heard the news, he's not going to come back. He's not going to play. He's not even going to play for the Broncos. He's not going to play for anybody else. I wanted to see Tony Romo out there get a shot with another team. And then it was so unfortunate with Romo is here we now finally put the offensive line together for him. And you saw what happened in 2014, the young offensive line. They dominated. The defense is finally coming around for him, and then he gets hurt like that. And with messed up his back with Cliff Averill hitting his back in a preseason game versus Seattle. So it reminded me a little bit of the Romo thing where I thought Romo was going to come back, and Romo was just tired of the grind. He's injured. And so Luck is the same way. He's injured. He's tired of the grind. It just so happens he's 29 and Romo was 34. But, man, so first, yes, shocking, surprised, very surprised. I called my son right away, and he was shocked. But after I learned about the injuries and all the stuff in the rehab and having a little better appreciation of it, I said, okay, that's fine. But that being said, as a Colts fan, I'd be pissed, but I would not boo Andrew Luck. I thought that was Bush League. And it's not all the crowd, because people always go, oh, you hear the Indianapolis crowd? Man, that's probably only about 20,000 out of the 60,000. Seriously, there's probably some good people in there that did not boo.
Right.
So, but I would not have booed Tony Romo if he decided to abruptly retire. I would just be like, okay, thanks for the memories, man.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely cannot fault somebody for retiring the way they did.
Right.
The rushers, the shoulder, the spleen, the ribs, me and my wife were talking, and he's played one full season in the last 5 years. So I mean, the injury has got to be taking a toll on him 100%. But with that being said, he is still on fantasy teams. So with that being said, guys, do not freak out yet, because let a regular season game play. Let 2 regular season games play. He might be coming back sooner than you think. I mean, he is 29. He is young. Let him miss the game for a month or 2. See if he wants to come back. Because people saying tight end for the Patriots are going to come back. Gronk. Let him miss a couple games. See what happens. So pump the brakes a little bit. Let him miss some games. Let him get fully healed. People are upset because Luck quite possibly could have been the greatest quarterback ever. At least a top 5 quarterback if healthy. Yes. Keyword there, if healthy. If he comes back healthy, let him sit out 2-3 weeks. What the Colts started 0-4, 0-6 this past season. First 6 games, okay, whatever. Let him come back fully healthy. Make a run, make a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of agree with you, but he will not come back this year. I don't think he goes on national TV and is almost crying and saying he can't do the rehab anymore, like it's putting a damper on his life. If he comes back, it'll be back after a whole nother year. And then next year when he's 30, he needs a whole season off. He will not come back this year. I would actually be more shocked at that than I was the initial reaction the other day when I heard he was retiring. He needs a full year of chilling. Seriously. I mean, rehab a little bit. See, what happens is in the rehab, you get you're trying to get back on the field because you don't want to let down your teammates.
Right.
And so he's going to the rehab process faster. So let him now go do the rehab like he was just a regular dude. Like he doesn't have to get ready for a season. Let him rehab all year. And there's going to be a window for him to come back. It'll be next year. So I don't think he's coming back at all. I think the guy has integrity. He's sincere in what he's saying. He's not pulling our leg going, I'll be back week 6, baby. I knew it. He's not that type of person.
Right.
He's the type of person that look in the eye and say, hey, Michael, man, I'm done, dude. And then you would have to talk to him all year maybe, and then maybe he comes back next year. But he wouldn't play with us and go, I'm back week 6, baby. Draft me on your fantasy. Oh, and did you see O.J. Simpson? That was hilarious.
No, I did not. What did he say?
O.J. Simpson we was at a bar, and he was like, Andrew Luck, why you doing this to me, baby? I drafted you on my fantasy. Come back. Fucking O.J., right?
You're right.
He pissed off O.J. Anyway, so
ever since O.J.'s been on Twitter, man, he's been something Twitter, else. Yeah.
Oh, my God. And then So no, I think Andrew Luck's done this year, and I think if there's a window of opportunity for him to come back, it will be next year.
Okay, so let me just put this out there. As a Cowboys fan, we've been wanting a veteran quarterback to come to the team. To get Cooper Wright and what's his face out of there, Rush, out of there. We want those guys out and sign a veteran. Indianapolis Colts now are in the same boat. They're looking for Teddy Bridgewater to get cut. They're looking for RG3 to get cut. Somebody to get cut. This kind of puts a damper on our hopes a little bit, signing a veteran quarterback for the Chiefs. Do you think the Colts will go after a veteran quarterback?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I like Jacoby Brissett. I had him as a second-round grade a couple of years ago coming out of college. But he's not a Super Bowl can you win a Super Bowl with Jacoby Brissett? I guess so.
With the defense around him, yes.
You'd have to have a top 5 defense. You'd have to have a great offensive line, which they do. You'd have to have everything perfect around him. Great coaching. I don't think that'll happen. I think Jacoby Brissett is an above-average quarterback. I don't want to sleep on Jacoby Brissett. I think he's pretty good. He is not Andrew Luck at all. None whatsoever. So. Yes, the Indianapolis Colts are now in a market for a quarterback. Absolutely. Luke McCown should have just waited a couple of more weeks. He probably would be starting the Colts in a few weeks. Yeah, but absolutely, the Colts will have to pick up a quarterback. And I don't mean you're 100% right. I don't mean like some guy who played at Montana Tech 5 years ago. I'm talking about a guy that's an established NFL quarterback somewhere. They're gonna have to make a trade, something. They need something. Just in case Jacoby Brissett gets hurt, or is better than Jacoby Brissett, they need somebody ASAP. The only damper that Andrew Luck did, the only thing I would fault him on just a little bit is the timing.
Yeah.
Because he put the Colts in a bad bind. But if he was sincere, the Colts know this. If he was sincere in his rehab and he was really trying to get back, I don't think he's a man that's going to pull people's leg and just take you down to the wire and say, no. I think he really, really tried to come back. And the red flag showed, Michael, on this one, when they didn't play Jacoby Brissett in the third preseason game last week, they announced, they go, what? We're even going to hold out Jacoby Brissett. So that should have sent up a red flag to everybody that Andrew Luck will not be ready week 1 or 2.
You're right.
And it turns out he's not He's not going to be ready for the rest of his career. So,
right.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct on that. But just to add to your points there, the Brissett, he's had a lot of game plan the last 3 years because Luck has been hurt so often. Yeah. But he's also been kind of just hey, you're in here to wait till Andrew Luck comes back. Yeah. You're in here, wait till Andrew comes back. This year, this is his team. There's no waiting till Andrew Luck comes back. So I think that he will definitely progress in his growth this season because he's not consistently, Andrew's here to save today. I just need to manage the game a little bit, whatever. This year, like you said, Brissett's not a horrible quarterback by any means, but this year you will see him take leaps and bounds this year. If the Colts make the playoffs, which our picks are kind of out the window right now, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. If the Colts do make the playoffs, it is because Brissett took leaps and bounds, like I'm saying he's going to this year. That's the only chance they got, I think.
No, you're right, and he has that. He's got the talent to do so. Like I said, I gave him a second-round grade out of college, late second-round grade, and he's a good quarterback. This isn't some like, we'll take a flyer on him on the 6th round.
Right.
No, he was a legitimate top 5 quarterbacks in his draft class. He was maybe number 5, 6. So I think he can do it. But that being said, the Indianapolis Colts will find out if he can do it this year. And if he can't, they'll go back to square one, and they'll get their new quarterback in place next year. He's got.
Or do you think the Colts pursue a quarterback right now? They have the draft picks, and they're seeing what's happening, like around the landscape. Do you think they pursue something now? Offer the Saints some picks for Teddy Bridgewater or something.
Right. No, I think Bridgewater's pretty much set with the Saints. I don't think the Saints will let him go unless you're going to give him a number 2 or something, I don't think that'll happen. Listen, don't push the panic button if you're the Colts. Let's roll with Jacoby Brissett, and let's bring in a veteran quarterback in case Jacoby Brissett falters, and then let's go with it. And this year might be a wash. We'll probably go 7-9 or 8-8 instead of 10-6 or 11-5, maybe with Andrew Luck. And then we'll work on it next year and get in that franchise veteran quarterback if Jacoby Brissett fails. I'm going to tell you right now, you mentioned something earlier, kind of piqued my interest. If the Colts still make the playoffs with Jacoby Brissett, that is a monumental feather in the cap for the organization and Jim Irsay. And Jacoby Brissett probably won't go anywhere. So
he might be the future.
Yeah. Now, I don't think that'll happen. I think they missed the playoffs now.
Yeah, I don't remember their schedule off the top of my head, but we've said that division's tough many times. So you're playing 6 tough opponents, right?
It's no joke
for sure. Plus you're playing the Chiefs and whoever else.
Let me just let you in on a little secret. Tennessee gets after your ass. Right. Jacksonville is a monster. Defensively, they're a monster, and the Texans are pretty good. Like I'm a Texan fan, but I'm going to keep it real with you. The number 1 defense in that division is the Jacksonville Jaguars from top to bottom.
Right.
And I will put the Texans at 2.
Ooh. Tough. It's tough, man. But, guys, we talked Andrew Luck enough here. His season's basically over. If he comes back, that's just a blessing in disguise for the Colts, like I guess we could say. But speaking of coming back, Jimmy G is officially fully healthy, coming back for the San Francisco 49ers. He's looked rough during the preseason. 5 straight interceptions in a practice. 1 for 6 for -6 yards passing his last preseason game that I saw. But regular season is where it matters. So let's go ahead and break down the San Francisco 49ers here. Week number 1, they're at Tampa Bay. We have them both losing to Tampa Bay already. Week number 2, at Cincinnati. Who do you got?
this is a heck of a game. This. Listen, I'm a big believer in Jimmy Garoppolo.
You are.
I am. I think he's got Romo feet. I think he can. I think he sets his feet like Romo and fires and delivers that football a little bit like Romo. I believe Sam Darnold has some Romo qualities. Sam Darnold has the potential to be better. I think Jimmy G is going to be as good as Tony Romo, and I think that's saying a whole heck of a lot. I love what John Lynch is doing there. I have them beating Cincinnati week 1. I'll have them beating Cincinnati week 2 at Cincinnati. I think. And listen, this pains me to say because I hate the 49ers as an organization. I hate them, and I'm a believer in Kyle Shanahan. Been knowing that guy for many years. Came up through University of Texas, was a football player, and his claim to, you know what? Right now, Kyle Shanahan's got to get rid of that stigma of blowing a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan blew the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl by throwing the football instead of just running Freeman or Tevin Coleman and just kicking a field goal and putting the New England Patriots out of their misery. So that's Kyle Shanahan's offense right there, throwing the football when he didn't have to. And so that blew the game for the Super Bowl, and it gave Tom Brady another Super Bowl. Like he needed another Super Bowl, like I need a hole in my head.
Selfish.
Yeah. So Kyle Shanahan's got to get rid of that stigma of blowing a Super Bowl, and this is a good opportunity here with Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy's got some weapons now. So he's got a young receiving core, and he's got 2 really good running backs.
Right.
That I really believe in. So yeah, I think they'll beat Cincinnati at Cincinnati week 2.
So I'm going to put a little disclaimer on my picks here. I picked the San Francisco games about a month ago, back when A.J. Green was still healthy. So I actually had San Francisco losing to Cincinnati because I thought A.J. Green was going to be on the team healthy and have a great game. Because this is Cincinnati's home opener, and like we said, from weeks to weeks, it is hard to beat a team on opening weekend at their stadium. With all that being said, I'm still going to stick with my pick. I had the San Francisco starting season 0-2, losing to Cincinnati at Cincinnati.
Okay.
Week 3, they're back at home, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have them both beating Pittsburgh, actually. Yes. Giving us a week 4 bye week, giving us to Cleveland. We have them both beating Cleveland, transferring us into week 6 at the LA Rams. Who do you got?
Loss. They'll lose. They'll lose at the Rams. Rams are the real deal, man. San Francisco's on the way back, but they're not beating the Rams.
Yeah, I am with you on that. I think the Rams are going to lay it on them and lay it on them hard. I like what the Rams have done the past couple of seasons, and I think their window to win is quickly closing on them, and I think they realize that. So they're in a must-win Super Bowl now opportunity, giving us week 7 matchup at Washington. We have them both losing to Washington, actually. Next week at home, taking on Carolina. We have them both beat Carolina, giving us the next week matchup at Arizona. Who do you got?
Wow, you know what? This is a tough one for me. I'll go ahead and take Arizona. Arizona's going to struggle this year. This might be one of their wins. I'll give Arizona this one.
Yeah, as much as I think San Francisco is going to be overrated this year, looking at their schedule, it's not that tough. They're going to beat Arizona because Arizona at this time of year is going to realize, hey, our offense isn't working. Kyler Murray is just too short. Cliff Kingsbury isn't a very good coach, and they're going to be looking to fire a first quarterback head coach again. They're going to be out the window. Next week, they're at home, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Who you got?
Well, they got 11 days here to prepare for Oh, I didn't realize that Arizona game is a Halloween game, Halloween night. Wow. Okay, cool. Seattle, November 11th. It's a night game. Looks like that could be Monday Night Football here. That's Monday Night Football. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna. They're at home. They haven't given San Francisco a Monday Night Football game in a long time.
Right.
So I'm gonna take San Francisco beating Seattle Monday Night Football, November 11th.
And I have Seattle win this game because I just like Seattle. Like I said, I think the San Francisco 49ers are highly overrated this season. And I'm going to stick with them losing the division to Seattle. So, therefore, Seattle has to beat San Francisco in this game. Giving us the next week matchup. Once again, back-to-back games. Take on Arizona Cardinals again. At home this time, though. Who do you got?
I got Arizona. This will be the payback game because I have they'll beat Arizona at home.
So they'll beat Arizona at home. I about put the red mark on there. I have them beating Arizona as well. Again, just because I don't think Arizona is that good. Same thing I just said previously. Next week they're at home taking on the Packers. Who do you got?
I'll take San Francisco beating the Packers. This is a great rivalry from back in the day, and I'll go ahead and I'll take the home team in this one. If it was at Lambeau, I'd have taken Green Bay, but it's at San Francisco, so I'll go ahead and I'll take San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you.
Levi Stadium.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you are. If this was at Lambeau, I would be taking the Packers as well, but I'm taking the 49ers to win this game. I think at this point in the season, the Packers are going to start to crumble on themselves a little bit. The rookie head coach is going to realize, hey, this is not as easy as it was in the beginning of the year. Giving us a next week matchup, San Francisco travels to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Who do you got?
I'll take the Ravens at home. This is going to be a great matchup. At Baltimore, yeah. I mean, I've already got San Francisco winning a lot of football games. And I failed to mention it when I talk about Jimmy G. I don't know how I failed to mention this, but he's got a young receiving core. He's got two really good running backs that I like. I mentioned it earlier, but he's got one of the best tight ends in football, in George Kittle. So that's gonna. I'm gonna tell you right now. Just Garoppolo to Kittle could be as good as Romo to Witten. Not joking.
Didn't you get Kittle on your fantasy team too?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you did.
As a matter of fact, that kind of pissed me off the other day because my phone couldn't start working and my computer was running slow, and so it auto picked for me a few of my picks.
Right.
Like, there's about 6 of them, and so I ended up taking Kyler Murray. So I went ahead and I would have never taken Kyler Murray. And so anyway, I went ahead and corrected that today. I got a couple of guys added on that I like. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have Baltimore winning this game. I've taken a lot of flack from last show saying that Lamar Jackson's trash. But if you guys listen to the show, I said he'll have 3 or 4 games where he is just spectacular. A top tier 1 quarterback, and this is one of those games. He is going to come out. He's going to pick apart the 49ers defense. He's going to hit a couple deep passes, score 2 touchdowns on his on the ground. He's going to have a great game. So I have San Francisco winning or losing this game, I should say.
Real quick, I don't think Lamar Jackson is trash, but I don't think he'll ever be a top 10 quarterback, Michael, because he has accuracy issues. He makes Dak Prescott look like Tom Brady. Right. So his accuracy issues will always come back and bite him. He's going to have to use a lot of his athleticism. You can. There's some plays where you can kind of coach the accuracy there, launching pads and getting easy throws. But in the end, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Yeah. And he got exposed in the playoffs last year. And real quick, going back to George Kittle, the great tight end for the 49ers who blew up on the scene last year. Who took him in the fantasy? That dude's going to get a lot of points from tight end. Whoever that guy is, good job.
Yeah, if you guys are in the Marcos and Mike fantasy league, the draft was last night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. There were a couple auto drafts there, but it is what it is. So if you're looking to trade Kyler Murray or for Kyler Murray, Marcus would like to get that trade done.
Trust me, Kyler Murray won't be starting for me, man. I was like, matter of fact, Kirk Cousins is my quarterback, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Kirk Cousins, right?
He scores a lot of points, though.
You got to realize who he's throwing to. Yeah. He's throwing to Thielen and Stephon Diggs, who had the highest catch radius in the NFL last year. Right. So if you throw it to them, they caught the ball like 90% of the time. Thielen and Stephon Diggs are pretty good.
That's the great thing about fantasy is you may hate the player, but you're going to get them. So the next week they're at New Orleans. We have them both losing this game. The following week they're at home taking on Atlanta. You have them beating Atlanta. I have them losing to Atlanta, giving us another division game. LA Rams at home this time.
And this one is a to-be-announced date. To be announced, time. Date and time. Yeah. Because it'll be flexed. If this game means something like for a wild card division, this will be a night game or the main game. I see the San Francisco 49ers possibly even making the playoffs and winning this game, beating the Rams.
So you have them beating the Rams this game.
Yeah.
So this is a time of year where the college football season or the regular season has ended, so they play Saturday and Sunday. Yes. If this is a Saturday night game, San Francisco is going to win this game. If this is a Sunday night game, LA Rams are going to win this game.
Okay.
I'm thinking in my gut it's going to be a Saturday night game. San Francisco 49ers are going to get revenge. Jimmy G is going to have a great game. It's going to be a shootout, 42-35, tie up a score, but the 49ers come on top, giving them a fighting chance to become 8-8 and possibly sneaking into the playoffs, giving us the final game of the year. Go ahead.
What do I have them at? What do I have the 49ers at?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 6 as of right now.
Wow. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Going us into Week 17 at Seattle. Who do you got?
This game means everything. It puts the Niners in the playoffs, and it knocks Russell Wilson out of the playoffs.
Putting that
the
green
49ers
mark.
are going to go into Seattle and beat them.
Oh, that's a bold statement, Cotton. Bold statement.
Yeah.
I have them going in Seattle and losing. I haven't broke down the Seattle Seahawks schedule yet, but I think they'll be the battling for that division, and I think this is a must win for them more than it is 49ers, because I had the 49ers finishing 7-9, so they're out of the playoffs looking up. So the Seahawks have to win this game to win that division and get a higher seed in the playoffs.
Right.
So you have them going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 6.
Yes.
10-6, much improved from last year. From the 3-13 they were last year, I do believe.
Yes.
You have them winning division, correct?
The 49ers. Well, I think the Rams will win the division, but the 49ers will. This is one of those years where the NFL always makes you a believer of you can go worst to first,
right.
You can go worst to second. This is going to be one of those situations where that's what's going to happen. This is an 8-8 league. Okay, there's potential all over the place. Everybody's got great players, okay? They pick from the same talent pool. The 49ers have good players as anybody in that division except maybe the Rams.
Right.
And so, yes, the 49ers are going to go from worst to second place here in this division.
So you have them getting into the playoffs as like a 5th seed or 6th seed?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I got to do my playoffs thing, but, yeah, the 49ers are in the playoffs.
So with that being said, do you see them winning a wild card game in the playoffs?
It's possible, man. Anything's possible. Once you get to that wild card stuff, man, anything's possible.
He's in there, Kevin Durant.
Probably not, because they're going to face the people named the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Rams, and the Saints, and the Bears. I'm not sure yet, but probably not. But they'll get in the playoffs this year. I'm a believer in what John Lynch is doing. They got your boy D Ford. I mean, Solomon Thomas, their former first-round pick. This is a put up or shut up year. I like DeForest Buckner at defensive tackle. Listen, what's his Sherman, the ex-cornerback from Seattle. I love Richard Sherman. Dude, that dude's a baller. He can play. Jimmy Ward, their first-round pick a couple years ago. It's put up or shut up for him too. I'm a big believer in this 49ers team. I think they've done a really good job of putting it together.
Yeah. Breaking news, D Ford lines up offsides in the wild card game, losing the 49ers that game, so they can feel the pain that I feel every day.
Oh, man, that would kill me, man.
Wouldn't that be something, though?
As a Cowboy fan, I hate Patrick Creighton. He blew Romo's chance at a Super Bowl. As a Texans fan, I hate Jacoby Jones. I don't know if you remember that guy, number 12, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to beat Baltimore in the divisional. Like Ray Lewis and them, Super Bowl. And Jacoby Jones muffs a punt. How you like that? Pretty cool?
This is the bad thing about you, Mark, is you remember stuff from the 80s and you're still upset about it. You're still
upset about it.
Man, it was 1986, fourth quarter, 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go. You dropped a pass that hit your hand. That cost us.
Cost us.
I love it, though. I love it. Guys, that's going to be it for today's show. Join us tomorrow. We'll bring you breaking news as we always do. Stuff seems to happen day in and day out as the season gets closer. 2 weeks away is kickoff time. But tomorrow, we're going to break down the LA Rams. Join us tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place. Have a good day.